What's your feeling towards divorce? For me, I did not want to get divorced. I would have rather cut my arm off than file for divorce. What I really was interested in was a separation agreement, and I wanted that my ex and I to work things out and possibly then get back together, or worst case scenario, then get divorced. But I really wanted to start with a separation agreement. And I'm going to tell you why my attorney advised me not to go that route. I'm not an attorney, so don't take this as what you should do for your personal situation. That's what attorneys are for. They look at your personal situation and then interpret your state laws for what best suits you. But I'll just give you my story of why a separation agreement didn't work for me, and therefore I went directly to filing a divorce. So first things first, we need to talk about what a separation agreement actually is. So it's an actual contract between a husband and wife covering different topics that you mutually agree upon. For example, it can cover issues like who is paying child support, how much child support will be paid, how are you going to handle the debts, how will you handle the division of assets. It can cover a couple of those topics. It can cover all of them and more. The more things that you can agree upon, the better. It's important to have an attorney prepare this document for you. And then if needed, down the road, if divorce is what the two of you decide to do, then you can then incorporate the separation agreement, things that you've already agreed upon, into your actual divorce decree. So theoretically, it can make the divorce process a lot smoother, saving time and money, which are good things, when it comes to the final divorce decree. No, a separation agreement isn't required in order to get divorced, and nor is a separation agreement an indicator that you're ultimately going to end up in divorce. You can have a separation agreement signed and then go back to being married if you want. But the separation agreement, if you can agree on some terms, if you end up in divorce, it will just speed up the process and therefore save you money, which is a good thing. Another important point about a separation agreement is that it needs to be mutually agreed upon and then signed by both parties. So if one party doesn't agree to the separation, you obviously cannot actually have a separation agreement, because not both of you won't be signing it. If only one party is in favor of the separation agreement, it's not going to be valid. Another important point about a separation agreement is knowing that if your spouse violates the separation agreement, there's not a whole lot of weight that the separation agreement can hold. Unless the separation agreement actually is approved by a judge and goes through the court system, and there's a court order from the separation agreement, the separation agreement can't really do anything against your spouse if they violate any one of the terms that you mutually agreed upon in the separation agreement. Make sure to contact an attorney about the specifics of the separation agreement, because it might be a little bit different in your state. For example, you could ask your attorney, would it be possible for me to bring my spouse to court because they breached the contract, which is the separation agreement? Maybe that could be an option for you. I just know that unless there's a court order, you can't hold somebody in contempt of court for breaking a separation agreement without that court order. So finally, why did I not file for a separation agreement versus a divorce like I had wanted to? Well, my attorney advised me that it really wasn't best suited to my case, because my ex-spouse, my ex-husband and I didn't agree on anything. And so For me, the separation agreement would have been a waste of time and money for me because he wouldn't have agreed to anything to sign for a separation agreement. And therefore, I did just go the route of filing for a divorce instead. I was really sad about this because it seemed a lot more final. I felt like a separation agreement would have been better for me because it seemed less harsh. It seemed like there was still an option for the marriage to work out, but really that just wasn't in the cards for me. So I don't regret the route that I took, but lesson learned. I didn't understand what a separation agreement really was and why it wouldn't work for me. I hope you found this information helpful. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And keep your chin up because you are an overcomer.